afternoon, Dr. Serena. My name is Charmaine and my partner is Enhui. Today we will be presenting our research topic, which is TikTok advertisements and perceived credibility among senior citizens. To begin, TikTok is a social media platform that allows users to create, share, and interact with short-form videos. Over the years, TikTok has become an important platform for advertising, where brands use different strategies such as in-feed advertisements, branded content, and influencer collaborations to reach their target audience. Besides, TikTok uses an algorithm-based system that personalizes content according to users' interests and behaviors. This makes advertisements more relevant to users. However, the credibility of these advertisements is also important because it affects whether users trust and engage with the advertisements. As more senior citizens are starting to use TikTok, our study focuses on understanding how they perceive the credibility of TikTok advertisements and what factors influence their trust towards these advertisements. For our problem statement, previous studies on TikTok advertisements credibility mainly focus on younger generation, such as teenagers and young adults. However, there is still limited research exploring how senior citizens perceive TikTok advertisements, especially in terms of how they decide whether an advertisement is trustworthy or not. Therefore, there is a research gap in understanding senior citizens' trust and credibility perceptions towards TikTok advertisements. The significance of this study is that it focuses on senior citizens, which is an often overlooked group in social media advertising research. Through the research, we hope to provide a better understanding of how senior citizens view and trust TikTok advertisements. This can also help advertisers create advertisements that are clearer, more relatable, and more suitable for senior citizens, senior audiences. The first research objective is to examine senior citizens' perception of TikTok advertisements in terms of credibility, and the second objective is to identify the factors that affect the perceived credibility of TikTok advertisements among senior citizens. Our first research question is, what is the perceived credibility of TikTok advertisements among senior citizens? And the second research question is, what factors affect the perceived credibility of TikTok advertisements among senior citizens? Moving on to our literature review, the first is credibility of social media content. Previous studies show that credibility in social media content is influenced by factors such as source trustworthiness, message transparency, and audience perception. This means users are more likely to trust content when they believe the source is reliable and the information provided is clear and honest. Next, TikTok has become a popular short video platform for advertising because it can quickly capture users' attention. The platform uses personalized algorithms to recommend content based on users' interests, making advertisements more relevant to them. However, personalized content may also reduce transparency because users may not understand why certain advertisements appear on their feed. Besides, TikTok advertising commonly use strategies such as in-feed advertisements and influencer promotions. These methods allow brands to reach users in a more engaging way. However, the credibility of these advertisements may depend on how users perceive the source and the information presented. The last one is senior citizen and TikTok. Previous studies show that senior citizens are becoming more active on TikTok. They use the platform not only for entertainment but also to connect with others and share their experiences. TikTok also provides a space for senior citizens to express themselves through their hobbies, daily lives, and opinions, showing that they are not only viewers, but also active creators. Next, for our conceptual framework, there are four main factors that influence perceived credibility of TikTok advertisements among senior citizens. The first factor is advertisement source, which refers to whether the advertisement comes from influencers, company, or regular TikTok users. The source can affect how trustworthy the advertisement feels. The second factor is advertisement clarity. This refers to whether users can clearly recognize that the content is an advertisement and understand the the content provided. The third factor is advertisement content, which focuses on the authenticity, tone, and accuracy of the advertisement. Lastly, TikTok platform features such as short videos, personalized recommendations, and algorithms may also influence how users perceive advertisements. That's all for my part, and now I'll pass it to Wen Hui.
Thank you, Charmaine. Moving on to our methodology, we use a qualitative research design because our study aims to understand the opinions, experiences, and perceptions of senior citizens toward TikTok advertisements. Since we wanted detailed answers instead of numbers, qualitative research was the most suitable approach. To collect our data, we conducted semi-structured interviews. We prepared a list of interview questions, but participants were also free to explain their experiences and share their own opinions. This allowed us to get richer and more detailed responses. Each interview took around 30 to 45 minutes. Our participants were senior citizens aged 60 and above who use TikTok. They were selected because our research focuses on understanding how this age group judge the credibility of TikTok advertisements. After collecting all the interview data, we use semantic analysis. We read through the interview's transcripts, identify important keywords, group similar ideas into categories, and then develop common themes. These themes become the main findings of our study. From the interviews, we identify 5 main findings. The first finding is who posts the advertisement matters. Most participants said that pay attention to who is posting advertisements before deciding whether to trust it. Many participants trusted regular TikTok users more because they felt their opinions came from real personal experience. Some participants also trusted well-known brands because they believe the brands have a reputation to protect. However, almost all participants trusted influencers the least because they believe influencers are usually paid to promote products, so their review may not be completely honest. Our second finding is clear information builds trust. Many participants mentioned that they prefer advertisements that clearly explain the product instead of just saying it is good. They wanted to see how the product works, how it is used, and what the actual results look like. When advertisements provide enough information, participants felt more confident about trusting them. The third finding is comments and reviews influence trust. Before believing an advertisement, many participants say they check the comment section to read other people's experiences. Some participants also search for more information online before making a decision. This shows that they do not rely on the advertisement itself, but also look for opinions from other users. The fourth finding is unrealistic claims reduce trust. Almost every participant said they would ignore advertisements that make exaggerated promises, such as claiming its products could solve a problem within a few days. They felt these advertisements were unrealistic and prefer advertisements that give reasonable and believable information. The final finding is authenticity is important. Participants prefer advertisements that felt more honest and natural. They like videos that show real experiences, product demonstrations, and honest information. On the other hand, advertisements that rely heavily on emotional stories or focus too much on selling made them trust the advertisement less. Moving on to our discussion, the results suggest that the credibility of TikTok advertisement is influenced by several factors instead of just one factor. Firstly, the source of the advertisements plays an important role. This matches previous studies that suggest people judge credibility based on who delivers the message. In our studies, participants trusted regular TikTok users because they felt their sharing was more genuine, while influencers were trusted less because they were seen as being paid to promote products. Secondly, clear and detailed information helps increase credibility. Participants prefer advertisements that explain the product properly and show how it works. These support previous studies that suggest transparency and sufficient information help users make better judgments about advertisements. Lastly, TikTok platform features such as comments and reviews also influence credibility. Many participants said they check comments before trusting an advertisement. This shows that besides the advertisement itself, users also rely on other people's experiences to help them decide whether the information is trustworthy. In conclusion, this study successfully addressed the research objective by exploring senior citizens' perceptions of TikTok advertisement credibility and identifying the factors that influence their trust. This study found that senior citizens evaluate TikTok advertisements based on factors such as the advertisement source, clarity of information, authenticity of content, and feedback from other users. Overall, advertisements that provide clear information, realistic demonstrations, and honest experiences are more likely to be trusted, while advertisements with exaggerated claims or overly promotional content are more likely to be ignored. Therefore, perceived credibility plays an important role in shaping how senior citizens respond to TikTok advertisements. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.